So can we skip to the good part?
It is Tango's base. I actually really like this base. It has the 3 original buildings, which are in the style of cartoon buildings. They're angled and positioned in such a way that it does mirror that effect of a cartoon building with all the angles and stuff. And I really do like how Tango managed to create a new and unique and original theme for Minecraft builds. And I love how all over the place there's these fun and crazy contraptions everywhere you go. Like there's iron golems being spawned in one building and then they're being led to another building, being crushed by ravagers just for their iron ingots. I used to hunt down iron golems just for sport back when I was playing Minecraft back then. There's the anvil contraption and there's the creeper and slime farms where it has the creepers and slimes falling to their deaths, and Tango was just walking all over the landing spot like no big deal. That was always fun seeing Tango walk around the fallen creepers. And unfortunately the chicken contraption failed, but that's okay because he stole that from me. I came up with that idea first. And all these nods to other cartoons altogether just makes one great base.
The past is history. The present is past.
It is actually Full Symmetry's base. I actually really adore this base. It's a real shame she didn't do this for Season 6, a season earlier. There was a lot of free real estate for that, with how the futuristic district actually was in Season 6. Yeah, it's really underwhelming, considering how the futuristic district was really embarrassing for the whole entire server back then in Season 6. There's nothing really much more to say about this base. This is just a really nice base with a lot of care and thought put into it. I really like everything from the cyberpunk city and even how Full Symmetry kind of created a sort of castle-like vibe, but you still know it's in the future. There's really nothing much to say about it. It's just a thing you really have to see for yourself. It is Aqua Town. My god. This one almost puts Corrales' city to shame. I'm surprised there wasn't a bit of rivalry there, but it does. Because Corrales' city does have a lot of function and a lot of buildings, but Scar's city actually does have a lot of personality, life, and style to it. You could see Corrales is really struggling for this idea of life when Zombie Cleo put the armor stands in his city. But what he also was missing is what Aquatown has. With all these ads, billboards, details, and occupations that make a city. And that's exactly what they played here in Aquatown. Not just Scar, but almost everyone on the server. As well as the different colors, it all came together. Whereas the buildings next to Corrales' hotel, you have no idea what those buildings actually represent. This could easily be better than Corrales' city, but Corrales' city has yet to make the list. If only the two cities could have been merged together, or if the deal to begin with could have been to work inside of Corrales' city, which is only fair, considering they're just gonna make another city in the server anyway. Maybe for Season 9 they could work together to make a city like that at one point, but at least that's kind of what's happening for Season 8. But I'm talking about an actual city. Like, build bases there, and shops, which will obviously motivate you more as hermits to make more of a style into the city. That's actually kind of why Bodum is the way it is. I guess money is everything. I guess money does make the world go round. And you could see the type of creativity that went on when they were building in Aquatown. Scar could easily be the best for one of the designers of Aquatown. He's the best at building at his own town. And I do like the other buildings from Grian's, Beat-Ups, Exuma's, Corrales, Ethel, Full Symmetry. And there was that little feud that Beat-Ups and Scar had going on, which just came so naturally, made so much sense. I'll get to that whole idea of what I just said later. It's too bad it never really got filled out though. The mayoral campaign. My gosh. This is what I love about hermitcraft. What I love about hermitcraft is when something just happens. Season 8 doesn't have much going on. This is what I meant earlier before when in hermitcraft things just happen. And they happen so naturally or in a way where it makes sense. And just the best of things come from it. In Season 6 when they moved to the village, Mumbo Jumbo clearly had the tallest building, only slightly, than everyone else, and that obviously led to the building competition, where all sorts of crazy and fun things happened. And ironically enough, Mumbo Jumbo was the weakest in this building competition because he quit. But for season 7, it was because they were on the Mushroom Island this time. And with all these mixed ideas of what the island should look like due to all the buildings, and it was ugly. As Green said it himself, they need a mayor to contain all this mess, especially the mycelium. And that's what I love about hermitcraft. Sometimes stuff like that could just happen and there's a reason for it happening. The best of things come out, like the feud between Scar and B-Dubs over real estate, which I mentioned earlier. But here, nothing too much happened, but still, a few good things have occurred from this. Green and Mumbo joined forces and made Grumbot, which was fun. There was the town hall, the beautiful town hall, where a few crazy cool buildings were made. And then there was, of course, the song that Rendog's brother made for Mumbo Jumbo as Min.
It's so annoying!
I actually really adore that song. It's very catchy indeed. And all the cool map designs, I really like those. This campaign was very short-lived, but it was very fun while it lasted. And all these colorful and crazy fun builds that they did, I just really love the creativity that came from this. And the creative and reasonable ways that hermitcraft tries to find some sort of story, as in the case with this right here.
How deep does this thing go, Ernie?
Goes to hell.
Scar's drill base. This was only made just so he could make it to the Nether update, by the way. Just to the Nether update alone. This is just something else. It's really just to get to the Nether base, but really this is like another base within itself.
Inside a taco, within a Taco Bell, that's inside a KFC, within a mall, that's inside your dream!
Which is something like very extreme, I might add, but in a good way. The base is actually pretty smooth and nice looking, especially on the outside with the X logo. Okay, I will admit, him creating a building around the item storage system with the rockets coming out was a bit out of nowhere, but I do like this base. Just the idea of coming up with an idea in the smallest of corners, since this was only made just for him to get to the Nether update. Just the idea of creating the littlest of details in the littlest of corners just to fill up this world is definitely amusing. I'm glad that this space wasn't wasted, and that their Minecraft server is a bit more covered up because of it. That's what should inspire you to play Minecraft, or to continue playing Minecraft. Okay, I will admit, I hate to say this, but the nether creatures that Scar created were a bit sloppy and I couldn't tell what they were at first. But other than that, this place is amazing.
You need a bigger door!
Scar's jungle base. Okay, I know it's filled with Scar, Aqua Town, and his drill base, but this place really is amazing. It truly invokes the jungle theme, and it just simply has everything. Okay, maybe not everything. It's truly an expansion. All around, left and right, there is more to see. There's like buildings going diagonally, and some parts of the village just going diagonally, making the illusion that it just goes on and on. Like there's more to that. Unfortunately, there's not. But still, it just looks so nice. As Scar said it himself, just put like details like diagonally in the background so that it gives off the illusion. He said it himself, he's doing the work for me. He's complimenting his own builds. I am kind of disappointed that this space wasn't filled up with villagers walking around. He was gonna have that, but he needed to keep them safe. Like, villagers not meant for trading, because they're just gonna be killed anyway, like walking around. And then you have your useful villagers safe and sound. On top of the background already being filled out, there was also the other Hermit's build, which lived very close to Scar. And that was very nice. It was basically like the build-off in Season 6 from when they were in the village. But like more enhanced because that's their actual bases. And they're actually bigger this time. The beginning. If Grian sending zombies to kill Scar happened in episode 1 of Season 7, that's when you know you're in for a ride. And Grian kept tormenting Scar throughout the entire season in some way. Which, oh my gosh, poor Scar. And I really am a fan of the jungle biome in Minecraft. So seeing some of the hermits have their starting point there was a real treat. Seeing this in the background. And some of their builds, like ingredients, kind of adapted to that sort of jungle-ish theme. Season 7, it was good in some places, it was not so good in other places. This season began with a bang. We had all sorts of things. We had the head games, we had the tag game, we had Rendog's Loser Island, we even had the crystals that Scar gave to Cuppan, and then he went through all the previous seasons, even the recent one at the time, Season 6. That was fun, but as well as what was actually fun is the idea of B-Dubs and Dog just acting like neighbors because they shared the same house and they split it from the last season, and they hated each other. That was fun. That was really something charming, and it was really crazy to think they had a house already built in the beginning of this season. Brandog already had an old western town built in the beginning of this season. This was awesome for his game of Who Hasn't Died Yet, which is similar to Demise. Yeah, but it was still fun. And the button game that Mambo had created for everyone that just went around going crazy around the server for this. I like that as well. That was like, I don't know if I could describe it the best way, but I love those sort of games. It really was a wonderful beginning, but it isn't the end to this list. For honorable mentions, it is Tango's game Decked Out. Okay, I really loved it when Tango was building and in the progress of this game, but then the hermits never took a moment to stop and smell the roses, so to say. Even Tango admitted it himself. Just the way he talked this game up and hyped it up so much sounds more fun, to be honest. I don't know. It's probably because Tango was going an in-depth analysis on this game. I don't know. It wasn't as fun when the other hermits were playing it. I wish it was. Maybe if I hadn't seen Tango's progress on this game, this would have worked out fine. Because this is really fun in general. I just loved the whole Ravager head popping up in the shopping district, not the gaming district. And then you have to go underneath this whole thing. The fact that this whole thing's underneath the shopping district is quite a fun thing to think about, actually. So yeah, that is why it's at least an honorable mention, as it is a mixed bag of what is going on. And speaking of mixed bags, as well as the Mycelium War, that was the whole thing that was going on. Look, the whole idea of the Mycelium War is that Grian is stacking blocks on top of each other. That's it. I mean, I do know that they have done other things, and those other things are quite fun. I liked the Mycelium Resistance new base after they moved out from underneath Grian's barge, but I loved the new base once they were kicked out of there, and then they were forced to make their own, to make the complete mushroom base, which was actually even more better than that. Well, not interior-wise, actually. It actually looked dirty in there. But aside from that, this war, there was plenty of fun things that happened during this whole turf thing. But to be honest, at the same time, it feels like they were dragging this out more than it should have been. That's the whole thing. I feel like if it had been shortened to just a few more episodes, but with the same stuff that was going on, then this would have actually been fun. But it would have been also sad to see it go so fast. So hopefully after that, they could create something else. Because, let's be honest, this whole thing should not have been as long as it should have been. And then there's also Rendog's base, Star Wars base. Okay, I like this fair enough, but it wasn't enough to make it on good things of hermitcraft, especially since there's not much to say. In the beginning, I kind of was digging his Loser Island base. I like that one, and it seems like he had a good idea for what was gonna go on. in there. I feel like he should have continued with that whole idea, because I feel like it would have been, well, maybe it could have been like on this honorable mentions as well. So who knows, for real? Maybe it's for the better, but maybe it would have been the same either way. But like, he was planning to build downward, and that's kind of seemed cool. Hermitcraft has this whole thing where they like fake out some sort of stuff to create like a story around it. That's what they do. And so when Rendog pulled the lever and like destroyed his island, it feels like there could have been actually done so that he can move out of this place. Especially since he was already building up the whole idea of the Emperor. So who really knows? I mean, it's really confusing when it comes to stuff like this. But overall, in Loser Island, it seemed like it was heading somewhere. Maybe, I don't know. But then he moved on to a Star Wars base. He went from Loser Island to another Loser Island. The place is good for what it is, and it is kind of a nice place. It's just like, again, I'm not sure if it was good enough to be on the list. I mean, some of the buildings aren't even, like, they don't even have anything in the inside, which would have been nice, but, you know, Rendog's got his Luke Skywalker home there, so that's probably why he had no desire to do this, unfortunately. If only. I feel like the base could have continued a lot more onwards. Like, the whole idea of Star Wars is like it's an expansion. There are multiple planets, and he didn't do that. I mean, he did, but like, he barely scratched the surface, I feel like, when it comes to Star Wars. 'Cause Star Wars has plenty of things going on for itself. And it's just like, it's fine. So that's all. Of course, what also makes this list is almost every other hermit, to be honest. I mean, they weren't mentioned in the bad list, they weren't mentioned in the good list, so that's why I have to mention them here. And obviously the other two, I mean, obviously the previous things I had to talk about more, just to give my full analysis on, well, it's really a back and forth sort of thing, and that's why they're not in. Number 1, it is Corrales' base. Okay, I know I said Aquatown was possibly the best, but I go back and forth. This city, you can tell it was made in a year. I really like this, but dang, I'm still jealous. I'm still jealous of this at the same time, because in my own Minecraft, I had a town or city, whatever, town city, and it was not like this. It was like probably as big as this, but it was not like this. There was all sorts of things for this city alone. Like, some of the buildings, they weren't just buildings, they actually had a purpose in the game of Minecraft. His office building was actually a creeper farm. His bank was actually for his villagers. His firehouse was actually a sorting system. His farm was, actually a farm. Yeah, I definitely have to do this for my own city, because the buildings are just, like, useless. I like how Corrales' thing is, like, it's just a bunch of farms, but they're disguised as buildings. It's just, like, a whole city of freaking farms in Minecraft. That is awesome. It's all functioning and working. It's a fully functional, like, city. I liked Corrales' like personality and how he was like saying all these crazy things. He definitely went around the server a lot, like having fun, like doing whatever, and that was especially fun, even though he wasn't really in the city. And he went like all over the place, and he was like gambling, especially when he went into Doc's house. And I do like his actual countryside farm. It does look nice. And I just like how, like, there's, like, all these vegetations and all these nice buildings. I think it was a nice, like, thing for him to have, even if it's not, like, city-related. And, yeah, I am kind of jealous about this whole thing, that he has, like, his city like this. And my city is pretty close to that size. I'm not sure whose is bigger, but it's actually just, like, really disappointing. Because if I was like these hermits, my city would have quadrupled by now. And that would have been nice. Because, yeah, my first year of playing Minecraft, after that, the progress on the city is just slowed down for me. And I really do adore how much of an expansion Corrales' city is. And, yeah, too bad the season ended. I feel like you could have gone on way more, because I just can't get enough of this city. I mean, the previous season, season 6, that one lasted up to, like, 110 episodes, something like that. And so, like, this season was cut short in comparison of that. So imagine if it had been, like, up to that many episodes, and Corrales could have, like, actually done, like, even more. Like, he done it like he's done building till the very end of the server. Like, I would have definitely liked to see hermitcraft continue for like a few more episodes, or probably double the amount it was. That would have been fun, and to see like how far the city would have gotten. Like, imagine if he expanded his city to like other biomes. Like, it's that much of progress has been done, and to the fact that like he would have also like been like with other like hermits' like bases and stuff, and like to see how he would like integrate that to the city. Like if he created some sort of rich, cozy looking neighborhood around Green's mansion or something like that, or like just another like city, I don't know, but like it would have been nice to see that. Like if there's like other hermits who already have like city like builds, and it's just like combined, like how they're doing in season 8, how they're making like a whole like neighborhood because like they're all together, something like that, but with like Corrales city would have been very nice. And it would definitely like would have been like Aquatown, like it's just like all sorts of ideas, and so it feels more lively there. There's nothing really much to say about this other than I just love like how the buildings look. They look amazing. I think he definitely put some care into it. So yeah, that is the end of my list, the good and the bad. I definitely enjoyed season 7, like when they did things right. And to be honest, I know like that these hermits know what to do with Minecraft, to be fair. I see some Minecraft builds online, like on like Google Images or like freaking YouTube. But these guys, like, they continue onward. And I'm really glad that even when it's all over, they actually end the season and save, like, their progress, like, and save their worlds. Something the Lego Movie 2 didn't understand when they freaking just... Well, the Hermits actually saved their accomplishments and are actually quite proud of what they did. And even if they didn't, the new seasons are always just as good as the previous season with their previous builds. So yeah, that is the end of my list. And if you like this video, I definitely recommend going to my channel, seeing the other videos, seeing what you like, and please subscribe. That's all I have to say. And thank you all for watching my video. Goodbye.
You need a bigger door.